get messages from you guys personally asking, you know, hey man, how'd you get your start? Where'd you get your training? So this video is going to be answering those things, pretty much a backdrop of my story, how I got my start, where I got my training, those kind of things. All right, so let's start this video by like putting this whole thing in walk mode. So this camera has got like a little handle, so I'm gonna make this look professional. So guys, when I got my start, I went down to Houston, Texas to train. All right, cut. They flew me down to Houston and we started training, of course, everything about garage door, you know, service and repair, and installation of openers, garage doors, the whole 9 yards. Then we spent a few weeks there literally training on customer service and even more so on sales. I'll be the first to tell you guys, if you don't think there is an art to selling, you're mistaken. It is literally an art, and I didn't realize it. I thought, you know, when growing up, when people talk about sales, I'm just like, oh, you work in sales. No, guys. If you know sales, then you know the law of nines or the rule of nines. Oh my goodness. Little things like that. It is incredible. It can change your game. So we learned all about sales. Let me get back on track here, fast forward. So after training, they kind of throw you to the wolves, so to speak, with a manager. He rides along, or you ride along with him, and he says, all right, you got this house. Go in there and knock, do the whole thing from zero. So it just so happened I smashed it in training. You know what I mean? So through the next couple months, quickly rose up in the company. So did great, was smashing numbers. So they would fly me around anywhere from Florida to Georgia, up to Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland. I've been to Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri, Phoenix, Arizona, Denver, Colorado, California, multiple places, Seattle. So I've been to like 14 or 15 different places, and I think that's what makes me, in my experience, unique. Most people, not all, but most people in this industry, whether they want to admit it or not, they get their job, they get their license, certification, whatever, or if even that, and they stay local, they're home-based. They only serve their community or their community and the surrounding communities, you know what I mean? So yeah, they get their experience, but that's what makes guys like me that travel really unique and have that extra, you know, expertise, because you see different things, guys. Like down in Florida, the doors there are hurricane weather rated, right? So every single panel usually has a strut. So because of that, the typical springs you see is like 250s, 262s, like heavy duty, you know what I mean? But yet if you come to San Antonio, we don't get much weather, truthfully, we don't. So it's easy, standard hollow back doors, nothing to them. So a single 250 spring is good, or a pair of 207s. Easy work. But then the work gets harder. If you go up to Ohio, you may have, you know, garages that are made out of all concrete. So even just to install a garage door opener is horrendous. You've got to drill everything. And then you see reverse track spring systems that are mounted on the back of the tracks, you know what I mean? Or on the front, but on the outside edges. And they've got big spindles that the cables drop off of. I mean, you see some crazy stuff in this industry, guys. Commercial work is a whole other story. Like, you got to be ready for that stuff. So I think, like I said, I think that's what makes my experience unique. I've really traveled all over and seen some things, different setups and different concoctions. So there you go, guys. That's kind of a brief, real quick story of how I got my start, where I got my training, and then now I own Dapper Dudes Garage Doors of San Antonio, Texas. So with that said, let me get right in. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a nugget, so this is not too much of talking. I hope that helps you, hope that intrigues you. But let me go ahead and give you this nugget. So let me lead off by saying this, guys. If you're thinking about doing this and then starting your own business in particular, you have to know about tools, you know what I mean, that really will benefit you. Use them to your advantage. There's free things out there. So if you start your own business and you get really going good, you're not just Joe off the, you know, doing things on the side, you're going to need like a customer service management software. House Call Pro is very popular. Not just giving them a shout out, but everyone uses it, it seems. Really popular, but you have to pay for that. And when you're just starting out in a business, that may be detrimental. You don't want to start displacing your finances in all these different avenues when you need that to drive your business. So this video is about just telling you guys, you can absolutely start your own business, but you have to be mindful and aware of things available to you. Uncover those and then utilize those to your advantage. And in this video, I'm gonna give you a quick example. So with that said, check this out. All right, here we go, guys, inside my computer desktop. Let's go down here to Google Calendar. It's gonna pull right up. So here you notice this red line with a dot right here in the center. This is reflective of the current time. As you notice right down here in the bottom right-hand corner, it's 11:52. And yes, as you'll notice, this awesome green, it's my birthday today, 42 years old. How about that? Anyway, all right, so just a brief overview. If you're ever in like a day that you don't want to be in, right? say on this, and you want to get back to the current day, what your current lineup is. This right here, you can just select today. It'll lead you back to the current day. As you can see, August 19th, 2025. And then over here at the top, you'll notice you can select, this is like your calendar view. This is pretty awesome. So let's go to a week view. It kind of gives you a rundown of your overall week. Yes, as of right now, I'm not scheduling anything. I'm fixing to take a vacation. Before I do that, I figured I'd show you this rundown. So you can also go to month, show kind of what the month has been like, or even go to the year. So this is actually pretty cool. Google Calendar, man, it's such an awesome tool. So let's actually go through a rundown if you were to get a call, like how it works. So let's say if you're sitting here doing work or you're outside, this works on the cell phone as well, on your mobile device, and both of them intertwine together. So whatever you save on the desktop will be, in fact, saved on the mobile device as well, on your cell phone. So it's pretty cool. So let's say a call comes in, ring, you just answer it. Lady just calls in, says, hey, I've got a broke spring. I think I was raising my door, or went to raise my door and it wouldn't lift. It went up a few inches and then stopped. And I got to looking and noticed there's like a gap in between those coils. You're going to say, yep, it sounds like a broke spring. So you want to say, okay, can I go ahead and take your address, ma'am? Let's just say she gives you an address. Yeah, it's 123 Grandview Circle, Bandera, Texas. You record that. And you'll use this description area right here. So those are the three main things. You give it a title, enter the address, and then a description. You generally don't need much other than that. So in this section is where you're going to say, okay, can I get your name, ma'am? Yeah, hold on, let's exit it out. Yeah, it's Jane Doe, space there. And can I get a good phone number from you, ma'am? Yeah, it's 210-345. Oh, come on, what's up with my typing? Sorry, guys. 210-345. And then let's say just 678 and then 0. Okay. Then you say, hey, is there a gate code or anything like that we'll need? Yeah, it's pound 3456. Okay. And then that's it, guys. Just like that, you've got her information. You save it. Okay. Then when you save it, let's say you're ready to rock and you are ready to shoot her an ETA. So you're going to just select that, open up your calendar, select it. And this right here, if you notice, it's tied directly to Google Maps. So when you hit that, bam, it automatically populates to Google Maps. And if you're signed in, it'll say hit go straight up and you're ready to rock. Super efficient, super awesome. So let's say you shot her ETA, you went out and completed the job. When you're done with the job, you're going to actually go back in again, select it, and use this little pencil to edit it. And this description section is where you're going to keep a full history of what you did. So let's go ahead and do the date. It's 08/19, or it's 2025. I tried to enter my birthday because it's my birthday. It's got me in that mindset. 2025. So that's the date. Let you know when you completed this work, right? So let's say we replaced broken spring. You put a 250 gold red. I actually put it in parentheses normally. It just tells you what side, you know, you put it on: red, left side, black, right side. And then labor, let's say just standard 150, okay? 5 year, man, I can't type today, warranty. All right, and then you just hit save. So one last thing to do here. Let's say she calls in a year later, right? Whatever you're doing, you're working on a task and she calls in. Her name, if you save her in your contact list, she should populate, you know, as a previous customer, so you should have her name right away. But if she doesn't, you can pull up, let's just say we're on a different day, right? Let's say she called and we're now in November. Let's say she said, hey, you guys replaced my spring back in August, I believe. You say, yes, ma'am, what was your name? And you be ready to hit the search bar up here. Let's say she says, yeah, it's Jane Doe. And then you hit enter. Bam, it automatically pops up like what you did for her, however many appointments you've had with her, and you can just select it, you know, and just say, and if she says, yeah, my name's Jane Doe, and like, oh yeah, we got you here, ma'am. It looks like we were out at your house August 19th and replaced your spring for, oh yeah, I didn't put the total right here as well. You'll want to do that. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's just say it was a total out the door for $600. Save it. So yeah, anyway, let's get back to where it was. So you're talking to her, like, yeah, it looks like we were out August 19th and replaced your spring, $600. She's like, she'll say something like, yes, that's exactly right. Like, customers love that, guys. That's the point of this. They love it when you're like, it seems like you took the time to really record who they are, like they matter. So you really want to be as professional as you possibly can. But all that to say this, guys, like, Google Calendar is awesome. It's an amazing tool. If you're going to start your own business, man, you're going to need some type of customer service software. You know what I mean? So you don't want to go get House Call Pro and things like that. You want to save all your money as much as possible so you can use that toward driving your business. So again, we're going to go back to today. There you can see your appointment. And you can see how easy this is, guys. Let's say if, you scheduled this already and she actually called back in and was like, hey, can I actually move that till 5 o'clock today? You just grab it and hold it. I mean, boom, just like that. It is rescheduled. I mean, this is so crazy. So let's go back on some of my previous history just to see like what it looked like. I've been on vacation here a few days, but yeah, like you can just drag and drop these and move these appointments around. I mean, it's just crazy, man. So Mother's Day was that one. But yeah, guys, I hope that helps you. This is literally a nugget for you, a little insight to how you can find these tools that's available to you for absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for this and utilize it to your advantage. There you go, guys. Yeah, so that's a quick example of just things that are available to you for absolutely free. So if you know how to uncover things like that, you can save your money and put it toward avenues that's actually going to drive your business. And that right there is the tips and tricks you need to help you be successful. So with that said, guys, let me say this, okay? I want to connect with you on a personal level. I want to say this. I am literally no different than you at all. Matter of fact, some of you might even be in a better position than I was to start your business. When I grew up, some pretty hard times. If I can humble myself and become transparent with you guys for a second, we bounced from house to house, man. We were like one of the poor families. I wouldn't really say poor, but for whatever reason, my parents struggled and we moved a lot. Now, on the flip side of that, our friendship life, our brothers and sisters and family ties were there. I mean, it was amazing. We were like the popular house because I have 2 brothers, 3 sisters, so 6 kids. Imagine all of everybody's friends over. We were like the hopping house. So great memories growing up, but work-wise and money-wise, man, we struggled. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth, trust me. I grew up, and this is real talk, okay? I grew up hoeing fields, irrigating fields, picking berries, right? And then when we got done doing that during the day, then we would go bale hay from 10 at night till 2 in the morning in the summers, because that's the best, most cool time to do it after a long, hard day. Take a break, eat dinner, chill, then at 10 o'clock we were out there. So we grew up hard. Man, I kid you not, I hated that as a kid, but man, I got to tell you, that's what gave me my work ethic. So I don't hate it at all. I'm not bitter, just being transparent about my life. So with that said, whenever I was getting ready to start my business, I was in the exact same place that you guys are. In a place where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, where you're tired of this boss, tired of this company, tired of giving your talents for not enough reward that not just think, but you deserve. Like, I've been there, guys, 100%. That's how I jumped into my business. With that said, lastly, let me get into that and then we'll finish up. So when I started my business, and I hope this resonates with you guys that are in this place. If you're in a place where you're looking for a job, or maybe you have a job but you want better, but you don't want to pull the plug, guys, at some point, you got to make that jump. So here's a quick story of how I did mine. Whenever I was with a big company, I was the number 1 guy in the nation. Just so happened he worked and stayed in Dallas. They sent him down to lead San Antonio instead of promoting me because of the brown nosing system that management often has, right? So my numbers were smashing it. Even though they were doing good, I was 8th in the nation. He was number 1. But when he came down, my numbers actually started smashing his, and I was climbing even past, approaching that number 1 status, and he didn't like that. So he put a wrap on that, put a stop on it, sent me out to trashy jobs, and the rest is history. 2 years of that. But all that to say this, that led me to a place where I was like, enough's enough. My wife kept begging me to stop, quit the company, move on to something else, start my own business. And I was nervous. I kept telling her for like a year and a half, no, I can't just quit. I've got a wife and 5 daughters to think about, 4 daughters, a stepdaughter, like nothing but girls. So I'm the man, you know what I mean? So I would dare to say that me more than anybody had a lot of pressure. I'm the man of the family, right? So a lot of pressure there, so I get it. It's hard to jump from one thing to another. You jump out into the unknown, that's scary. When to do it, what's the best time? Because there's no best time, man. It's either you're sick and tired of being sick and tired or you're not. I finally decided in that spot, like, enough's enough. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to move on. So I told him, yeah, let's part down. The rest is history. And the point to that is this. I jumped out into that place that's hard to jump. It's scary. Jump into the unknown, but what it does is it puts you in a place where you're either going to fall, come down, or you're going to do everything you can to figure it out and climb. That's it. That's your only two options. There is no in between. Everybody often says, you know, if you're sitting still, if you're going backwards or sitting still, even if you're sitting still, you're still going backwards. That's a pretty good motto to live by because it's the truth. So you have to get out there and drive yourself. There are some things that you have to do. But guys, if you want a different career, the garage door service and repair industry is where it's at. What you get paid for what little work you put in is incredible. And not only that, you get paid immediately. You don't wait for checks, man. Running your own business, you get the commission 100% outside of part cost, right? When I was with that company, I got like 18 to 35%. Ridiculous. I get 100 now, minus part cost. So you see this joy on my face? Let me be the first to tell you. I don't understand why any of you are out there working for somebody else. I don't. You are just a part of the system that we were brought up to, you know, and been taught, you know, get a job, go to college. No, that's wrong. It's all about entrepreneurship and money. That's why they don't teach you that stuff hardcore in school. Guys, I'm telling you, as a small business owner, you get so many benefits. It is incredible. I could give you examples on here, but I don't want to. That stuff needs to be confidential for the IRS and all that good stuff. But I see the smile again. It's crazy. You get the benefits, guys. I'm winning now. I'm not playing that get a check every week system, and I will never do it again. Lord help me. Seriously. So with that said, guys, I'm no different than you. I'm not any better than you. I had to pay my own way. When I quit that big company, I had like $2,000 to my name. I had to make it work. So I prayed. I did. I asked the Lord, like, hey, I'll dedicate my business to you, please. This is all I've got. This is my means to support my family. And I've never looked back. Guys, I'm no different than you. I am no different than you. I'm just a regular guy, 42 years old nut. I'm not old yet, but I'm getting there, but I'm no different than you guys. If I did this, you can do this. Seriously. Now, with that said, you do need the training. And we are going to open up training soon at the request of many of you. On my old channel, people used to fly in all the time. I would train them. They would do ride-alongs and pay for that. And even though they did ride-alongs, they still said, man, if you do a course, we'll buy that too. With that said, at the request of many, we are going to open up an online training program. It's a professional certification program. We're going to tier it up into 3 different packages, guys. First one is called training. We understand that there's people out there that don't have much money, maybe no money, but you still have to learn to invest in yourself, maybe get a job, work up and save just a little bit, and invest in yourself. It just is what it is. The kind of knowledge and training that comes with this is simply too valuable. We can't just give it away at $200. No, it's going to be probably somewhere around $500 to $700. That's for the small package that has only the baseline information in it to help you get you started. So that's for the people that don't have the most money. Then we got the standard package where you train and get certified. It's going to be called the certification package. Okay, that's basically all the training, everything you need to know to get out and start your own thing, to get certified, to use those credentials to possibly get employment or start your own business. Then lastly, we're going to have what's called a business package. What that is it's got everything you need, all the training, all the tools, etc., all the information you need to start and rock on your own. However, with that package, we actually go in depth and include all the marketing expertise you need to know, SEO and things like that. And then also not only that, but all the sales tactics I've used over the years to really smash my tickets, increase my averages, and bring in that money. Seriously, because that's what it's all about. So to give you perspective on that, when we were in the company, the standard they wanted you to hold on an average was 351. That meant across all jobs, whether big or high or junky jobs, whatever, your average by the end of the week needed to hit 351. If it wasn't, then you had to go into counseling. They wanted you to sell a little bit. My average was always 800 to 900, literally, and that was among the best in the nation. A few guys in Denver were like at 1,000, 1,400 constantly, but in California, those are cost of living is high, so there's a little play and variation, demographically on your numbers for sure. So with that said, guys, 351, we teach you, that was the average. So we teach you how to average good tickets, because even a $200, 351 versus a $200 average is a lot by the end of the year. Trust me. So with all that said, guys, that's a lot of information, a lot of talking. I know the only ones that really want to know more about this are the ones that stuck around. The rest of you probably skated out already, but I hope this helped you guys. I hope you really have deeper insight and possibly even a motivation about doing this on your own. Because again, I'm no different than you. If I did it, you can do it. So